I hear you whisper underneath your breath. I hear your SOS, your SOS.
The definition of the word warrior is a brave or experienced soldier or fighter. What this definition does not disclose is that much more than this. The U.S. Navy SEALs are perhaps the most elite warriors in the world. I know some of you may be thinking, what makes the Navy SEALs so elite? The SEALs endure years of intense training to prepare them to make the ultimate risks to protect our country. They were named after the environment in which they operate: sea, air, and land. Now let me paint a picture for you of a story that I once heard. A SEAL once asked, who makes it through the selection process? Who's able to become a SEAL? And the answer that he received was, I can't just tell you the kind of person that becomes a SEAL, and I can't tell you the kind of person that simply makes it through the process. But what I can tell you is the type of people that don't become SEALs. He said the guys that show up with huge buff muscles covered in intimidating tattoos, who are ready to prove to the world how tough they are, none of them ever make it through. He said the preening leaders who like to delegate all of their responsibilities and never really do anything themselves, none of them ever make it through. He said the star college athletes like Joe Burrow, who have never actually been tested to the core of their being, none of them ever make it through. He said some of the guys that make it through are skinny or even scrawny. He said some of them, you can see them shivering out of pure and intense fear. He says, however, all of the guys that make it through, when they find themselves physically spent or emotionally exhausted, when they have nothing left in their being to give, somehow, some way, they are able to dig deep down inside themselves and find the willpower to help the guy sitting next to him. They become SEALs. We all want to be elite warriors, but it's not about how tough we are. It's not about how smart or fast we are. It's not about how popular or loud we are. Even as most of you probably know, I can be pretty loud. In all seriousness, if we want to be elite warriors, we have to make it habitual to help the person to the right of us and the person to the left of us. Right now, I want everyone who is listening to think of one person who has helped you. It can be a friend, a family member, a coworker, or even a teacher. Before our time together ends today, I want you to reflect on how that person helped you. Did they help you build something? Did they give you a hug when you needed it? Or was it the time that they had to get you out of the greenhouse because you locked yourself in? By the way, Mr. Lone, it did only happen twice. For me, the first person that comes to mind is the woman that did have to get me out of the greenhouse a time or two. The woman that taught me all 4 years of high school. She not only taught me the science of plants and animals, she taught me how to think of others before myself. She taught me that nothing is impossible if you work for it. Ms. DeLone is the one that sends me random quotes or songs that she thinks I'll like, and is the true epitome of compassion. Now I want you to think of the person that did the same for you. No matter what specific thing they did for you, they helped. And it's important for us to recognize and appreciate this, because whether we realize it or not, that's how people are advancing in the world. This world is too difficult and dangerous for you to think that you can do it all alone. Even if you are that big, brave, and strong person, nobody can live in a lifetime of solitude. Now here's a few more questions. Who are you going to ask for help when you need it? And when are you going to start accepting that help if it's offered? During this convention, we have had countless members recognized for their time and skills in FFA. These skills have ranged from speaking to farming, service, and many more. We've commended those who have completed countless service hours in their communities, and we've recognized those who have assumed leadership positions through this organization. But here's one more skill for you: compassion. 5 days a week, we walk into a classroom with an ag teacher that spends his or her life. I can speak for everyone in this room when I say that those teachers sitting in this very crowd are my definition of compassion. They work tirelessly to ensure the success of each and every one of us. They miss family functions because they're on FFA trips like this week, and they don't get their children off of the bus because they're staying at school late to help us practice for our upcoming contest. Compassion. Learn that skill. Master helping each other when needed and accepting that help when you need it. See, the amazing thing is that when you take off that mask of perfection, you will find that there are so many people around you who care for you enough to help you when you are in need. In our society, we have countless people who have dedicated their entire lives to helping the people around them. I'm sure we've all heard of the many people that work in DC fighting for justice, peace, and equity for all on a daily basis. She's probably one of the most influential women that I've ever heard of in politics and will always, with no doubt, be my favorite topic of discussion in government class. The famous and notorious Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg once said that one day, no matter what you think now, you will spread your wings and take the sky. Now let's go back to our SEALs. They show up on day one, believing to be nothing but ordinary, and then are transformed into the most extraordinary warriors, achieving the impossible. This quote has been following me around since the beginning of my senior year. I think about how Justice RBG has pushed myself and countless others to be compassionate, respectful of others, and to take the sky with the best intentions in mind. But before you take the sky, I want you to think about who will push you higher, because they are the ones that will make you, you. Today, I want you to embody the aspects of them that you admire. Offer that same energy to someone else in need. Today, I want you to possess the true skills of a warrior. And I promise you that I do not mean being able to wake up at 4 a.m. every day to run 5 miles, because I'm not about that. I mean the personal skills: kindness, compassion, and perseverance. Louisiana FFA, if we can do this, then we have the sole power to be what I believe is a true warrior.
I hear the whisper underneath your breath. I hear you whisper you have nothing left. I will send out an army to find you in the middle of the darkest night. It's true, I will rescue you. I will never stop marching to reach you in the middle of the hardest fight. It's true, I will rescue you. Oh, I will rescue you. You are not hidden. There's never been a moment you were forgotten. You are not hopeless.
Sadie Grace, SG. It's hard to believe that it's been almost 4 years since I first met you, when we competed in the Prepared Public Speaking LDE together. Little did we both know back then that we would soon be area teammates and now state officer teammates. I couldn't imagine my FFA journey without you, and I know that all of our teammates can say the same. You've been the one person that taught us the important things in life, the 3 S's: shopping, Starbucks, and sushi. Love from a distance. Sydney, Faith, Caleb, Haley, Bryson, Elizabeth, Emerson, and Megan. Louisiana FFA, for the final time, your state vice president representing Area 4, Sadie Foster.
You're not defenseless. I'll be your shelter. I'll be your armor.